In the vast silence of Victoria's high country, the wind moves through the trees like a whispering witness. And somewhere out there, in the endless folds of bushland, gullies, and abandoned mine shafts, lies a question no one has been able to answer. Is Dezi Freeman dead? And if he is, could his bones already be resting in the bush, hidden in a place no search team has ever reached? Tonight, we explore that possibility. Not as fact, not as confirmation, but as a theory, a speculation built on the harsh terrain, the timeline, and the eerie silence that followed his disappearance after the Porepunkah shooting. Before we begin, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Shadow Detective, share it with anyone following this case, and comment below your opinion. Do you think he could already be dead? And where in the world are you watching from? Let's begin. We begin with the facts. The few solid, unchanging anchors in a case surrounded by uncertainty. On the day of the Porepunkah shooting, police responded to what should have been a routine situation. Instead, it erupted into violence. An officer was killed. Another was injured. And in the chaos that followed, one man became the target of one of the most intense manhunts Victoria has seen in years. Dezi Freeman. From that moment, the high country transformed overnight. Roads were blocked. Helicopters thundered overhead. Thermal imaging equipment swept ridgelines. Foot patrols, K9 units, and specialist teams fanned out through some of the most unforgiving terrain in Australia. And that terrain matters. The area surrounding Porepunkah isn't just bush. It's a labyrinth of steep ravines, hidden caves, uncharted mine shafts, thick undergrowth, rock shelves, and water-cut gullies that swallow sound and erase footprints within hours. Even the most experienced bushwalkers treat this landscape with respect, because one wrong step can bury a person in silence. Freeman was believed to be familiar with bushland. He had some level of survival knowledge. Enough, investigators suggested, to stay hidden, at least for a time. But here's what's crucial. After the initial chaos, the trail went cold. No confirmed sightings, no verified tracks, no shelter sites, no campsites, no discarded clothing, no heat signatures, nothing. Just an empty landscape and a missing man. These are the facts. Sparse, sharp, unyielding. And it's precisely because the facts end here that speculation begins. As the days stretched into weeks and the weeks approached months, something unexpected began to happen online. In forums, in local chatter, in social media comments tied to the case. A theory emerged. A quiet, unsettling suggestion whispered between the lines. What if he's already dead? What if they'll find bones one day in the bush? Now, to be clear, absolutely clear, no credible media outlet or police statement has confirmed the discovery of any human remains connected to this case. No bones have been officially reported. No body has been found. So where does the theory come from? It comes from the silence. It comes from the absence of evidence, not just of Freeman being alive, but of him moving, hiding, or surviving. It comes from the terrain itself. Locals know the bush can swallow a person whole. People can disappear in those hills and never be found for years, sometimes decades. The idea of Freeman dying somewhere out there, far beyond the grid of the official search, began to take hold for one reason above all. Nothing else makes sense to some people. How could someone, even a skilled bushman, survive for weeks without leaving a single trace? How could he move through heat, rain, freezing nights, and rugged climbs without being spotted, heard, or tracked? Speculation grew louder. He may have fallen into an abandoned mine shaft. He may have died of injuries or exposure shortly after fleeing. Animals or environment may have scattered remains. If bones exist, they could be in places too dangerous or remote for search teams to check. Online communities, armchair investigators, and locals all contributed to shaping this narrative, not as fact, but as possibility. And in mystery, possibility is powerful. To understand whether Freeman could have survived, or whether he may have perished, it helps to examine the terrain, the environment, and what experts say about bush survival in the high country. Victoria's Porepunkah region is unforgiving. Rugged ridgelines, thick undergrowth, steep gullies, and cold nights create a landscape where one misstep can be fatal. Even experienced hikers and bushwalkers sometimes underestimate the challenge. Experts in bushcraft and survival stress that sustaining life in such terrain requires water, shelter, fire, and careful planning. A person who knows the bush, as Freeman reportedly did, may find temporary refuge in natural caves, dense vegetation, or hidden clearings. They might forage for water, remain still during search sweeps, and avoid detection for days, perhaps even weeks. Yet, there are limits. Hypothermia, injuries from falls, and exhaustion are constant threats. Wild animals and environmental hazards, steep cliffs, hidden holes, and treacherous streams are unforgiving. A single injury in the wrong spot can make movement impossible, leaving someone stranded. Criminologists also note that fugitives in wilderness areas rarely vanish entirely. Even those with extensive survival skills leave signs: footprints, broken branches, used firewood, or discarded supplies. That Freeman has left no confirmed trace raises a chilling possibility. If he died, the bush may have claimed him quickly and silently. If bones exist, experts suggest several plausible scenarios. He may have fallen into an unmapped mine shaft or cave, where his body could remain hidden indefinitely. He may have succumbed to exposure or injury in a remote gully. Animal activity or environmental changes could scatter remains, making detection even harder. In essence, the combination of extreme terrain, survival skill, and sheer chance creates a situation where a body could remain undiscovered for months, or even longer. One of the most baffling aspects of Freeman's disappearance is the utter lack of physical evidence. After days and weeks of exhaustive searching, helicopters scanning ridge lines, thermal imaging, K9 units combing scrub, and foot patrols navigating steep gullies, no confirmed remains, no clothing, no campsites, no discarded items have been found. Search experts explain part of this mystery through the terrain itself. Dense bush and thick undergrowth can erase tracks within hours. A single rainstorm or strong wind can obliterate footprints and scent trails. Mine shafts and caves absorb heat, sound, and movement, rendering thermal imaging less effective. Many of these shafts are unmapped or structurally unstable, making them difficult to search safely. Remote gullies and ridges are sparsely visited, meaning even small clues may never be noticed or reported. Despite these factors, most long-term fugitive cases eventually leave some trace. Clothing, shelter sites, or digital footprints typically emerge. Yet in Freeman's case, nothing has. The complete absence of forensic evidence fuels speculation that he may have perished in an area no search team has been able to fully access. Police have confirmed the difficulty of the terrain. Statements from officials emphasise that some sections of the high country are nearly impossible to reach without specialised equipment, and searchers must weigh safety against the likelihood of success. In other words, if a body is in a mine shaft or deep cave, it could remain hidden for months or years. This lack of evidence is central to the bones theory. It's not that anyone has confirmed a body exists, but that the environment makes it plausible that remains could exist, unseen and untouched. While the bones theory captures the imagination, it comes with serious caveats. First and foremost, there is no verified evidence that Dezi Freeman's body or bones have been found. Every credible news outlet, police update, and official statement has confirmed only that he is missing, not deceased. Experts and law enforcement highlight several counterpoints. Search teams are experienced and thorough. The manhunt involves highly trained police, K9 units, and aerial support. While the terrain is challenging, they are systematically combing areas where a body could reasonably be. If remains were in known or accessible locations, the likelihood of discovery is high. Dangerous terrain is searched cautiously but effectively. Abandoned mine shafts, cliffs, and caves are hazardous. Police may limit full exploration until conditions are safe. But the probability of an obvious body remaining entirely undiscovered in searched zones is low. Official reporting is transparent. Any confirmed discovery of human remains would likely trigger an immediate media release and law enforcement update, given the high-profile nature of this case. The absence of such confirmation reinforces that the theory remains speculation. Ethical and social risks. Discussing unverified bones can distress families, Freeman's loved ones, and the families of the officers killed. It can also fuel rumours, misinformation, or conspiracy theories, complicating public understanding of the case. For all these reasons, it's crucial to frame the bones theory as a what-if scenario, not a claim. It's a hypothesis that arises from gaps in evidence, the difficulty of the terrain, and human imagination, not confirmed fact. Let's imagine for a moment that Dezi Freeman did not survive. The question becomes, how and where could it have happened? Scenario 1. A fall or accident in the bush. The high country is unforgiving. Steep cliffs, hidden gullies, and rocky ridges make even a short journey perilous. A single misstep could result in a fall that leaves a person critically injured or worse. In this scenario, Freeman might have succumbed to his injuries in a hidden ravine, far from the path of search teams. Over time, vegetation could cover any evidence, leaving nothing visible to trackers or aerial surveillance. Scenario 2. Trapped in an abandoned mine shaft. Some speculate he may have fallen into an unmarked mine shaft or cave. These shafts are dangerous, deep, and largely unmapped. A fall could result in death, and the location might remain undetected for weeks or months. Even thermal imaging or K9 units could struggle to identify remains in these confined, inaccessible spaces. Scenario 3. Exposure and hypothermia. The region's temperatures can drop sharply, especially at night or during winter months. If Freeman was injured or unable to find sufficient shelter, exposure could have claimed his life. Hypothermia can occur surprisingly quickly in remote terrain, leaving the body in areas that are not immediately visible to search teams. Scenario 4. Combination of factors. It's also possible that multiple factors contributed: injury, environmental hazards, and exhaustion. A fall might have incapacitated him, leaving him vulnerable to the cold, and natural elements or animals could scatter or obscure any remains. In such a scenario, it is plausible that bones could remain hidden indefinitely until discovered by chance or careful future exploration. Each scenario is speculative. We do not know if any of them is true. Yet, they help us understand how a man could vanish from one of the most intense manhunts in Victoria's history without leaving a confirmed trace. Human beings are drawn to mystery, especially when it combines danger, disappearance, and the unknown. The bones theory persists not because it is confirmed, but because it satisfies a psychological need: the urge to explain a situation that defies easy answers. Several factors make this theory compelling. Silence breeds speculation. When search efforts yield no evidence, no sightings, no tracks, no shelter, the imagination fills the void. People naturally wonder, if he isn't alive, then where is he? And if he's not found, could he already be dead, hidden by the bush itself? The bush as an active character. In the high country, nature is almost an antagonist. Caves, gullies, dense vegetation, and abandoned mines can swallow people, creating scenarios that feel both plausible and terrifying. The landscape itself fuels speculation. The desire for closure. Missing person cases leave families, communities, and the public without resolution. Imagining that bones exist, even if unverified, offers a way to emotionally process the mystery, even if it is grim. Media and online amplification discussions in forums, social media, and comment sections amplify the theory. Repetition makes it seem more plausible to casual observers, even without evidence. Comparison to other cold cases. History shows us that some missing persons are found years later, sometimes in remote or unexpected locations. This pattern reinforces the belief that even if Freeman died, his remains could remain hidden for an extended period. In short, the bones theory endures because it satisfies curiosity, explains absence, and dramatizes an already extreme situation. It is a narrative that resonates with the public, a haunting what if suspended in the wilderness. Dezi Freeman's disappearance remains one of the most baffling mysteries in recent Australian history. Whether alive or dead, the truth has eluded investigators, search teams, and the public alike. The bones theory, while unverified, persists because it provides a lens through which to understand the extreme challenges of the high country. A landscape that can hide a person completely, leaving nothing but questions in its wake. If Freeman is dead, it is plausible that his remains could be in a remote ravine, deep mine shaft, or dense bushland. Areas that even the most sophisticated searchers have struggled to fully access. If that day ever comes, discovery would bring both closure and sorrow. For now, we are left with speculation anchored in reality. A missing man, a vast wilderness, and a trail that has gone cold. Now, it's your turn. What do you think happened to Dezi Freeman? Is he alive, hiding, or already claimed by the bush? Could his remains already be out there, waiting to be found? Comment your thoughts below, and let us know where in the world you're watching from. If you found this video compelling, like, share, and subscribe to Shadow Detective for more true crime stories, unsolved mysteries, and deep dive investigations into the unknown corners of the world. Remember, speculation can be powerful, but facts must always guide our curiosity. This case is ongoing, the truth is still out there, and the high country keeps its secrets, for now.